everyone, and welcome back to another video with me, Shruti Vashisht. So this video is going to be like a feel-good video because I'm going to be bringing to your notice or holding up a mirror in front of you and showing you how you have changed spiritually during the pandemic. And no matter what you believe about the pandemic, whether you think it's natural or it was manufactured, or how you chose to navigate it, I feel that this is something that all humans have done. These spiritual changes and qualities that have emerged within us just because of this time that we have been living in. So if you would like to hear all that you have changed into, transformed into, this spiritual empowerment that you have gone through, what is it? Then keep watching this video and subscribe to this channel if you're new here. Give this video a thumbs up. That's how I know what kind of videos you'd like to watch from me. And finally, I will say that below this video there's links to work with me at a personal level. I have online courses that you can buy. I have personal services through Skype, and just check all of them out below this video. So you may or may not have realized that the pandemic has changed you spiritually, even if you weren't a spiritual person until this point. And you might think that, spiritual qualities are certain qualities, like you have to be enlightened and, meditate or whatever. But that's why I wanted to make this video as well. All of the qualities that I mentioned today are actually spiritual qualities. They're bringing you into the next level in your empowerment on all levels, at a holistic level. The first quality is that we have become comfortable with not knowing. So humans have lived within their comfort zone, very much so, for really long, and they're very scared of any changes. And I understand why that is. Of course we all go through that. We become accustomed to something and we think that we need certain things for our survival, so it has to do with survival. But it became so solidified that we now are used to certain things like our culture, so we will promote our own culture, like let's say our own race, and we won't promote the other. We won't see another as equal, because again this comes from fear. When you're within a space of security, you will recognize something that is different as beautiful, as something that complements you, that you can rise together and in fact help each other, whether that is race, nationalities, different companies that are competing against each other, whatever it might be, gender, anything. But this pandemic has shaken us up in many ways, and one of the ways in which it has made us stronger is that we are more comfortable with embracing the unknown. We have lived in a space of the unknown. What is right, what is wrong, what is going to help me medically, what is not, what is safe. Nobody knew anything for a long while, and even now we're in that space. So while of course I recognize how traumatic this can be and just the type of losses that people have gone through, but at the same time I'm talking about everything that I mentioned here is overall changes within humanity as a collective, and the positive aspects of that. What positives has it brought us? So one of the positives is that even those people who weren't willing to move out of their comfort zone were so based in everything that they knew, they had to they had this space of security. Let's say you have lots of money, you're able to afford things, facilities, whatever, and suddenly it's all shaken up, your sense of security, and it's not just for people who have money, it's really just for everyone. Whatever they are used to, something or the other got shook basically in the past 2 years. So it invited us into a space of embracing something where you really don't know what's going to happen next. You really don't know where safety lies. So you have to come back into inner safety, into this deeper knowing that I may not know what is safe externally, what is going to happen tomorrow. So I have to simply fall back into this deep calm that is within and try and access that in this moment. So because people never really tried to access it before, because their lives were going fine and they were just creating in the external, but perhaps it wasn't holistic creation, it wasn't creation that was balanced, so it worked. But now, at least during some moments, they really had to access that inner calm, that inner stillness, that something like that also exists, that it's like 50% of life. The second point, the second spiritual power that you have ignited is that you have brought out your ingenuity. And what do I mean by this? So ingenuity comes from a sense of flow. So until now, businesses, the way we did life, children going to school, everything was happening within a certain structure. And structures are good, but not once they become outdated. Once it's time to change, we need to be able to flow with change as well. So humans don't usually do that enough. They don't flow with the type of change that is required at a holistic level usually. And we have become accustomed to suppressing what our own unique ideas are in favor of what is going to take off in the physical, what is going to bring me money, what is going to bring me stability. But now it's like many of those structures that we had were taken away. I'll give you a more concrete example. Like, I'm a teacher, and of course school had to stop during certain times in the year, and we then started using online tools in order to teach our students. So we can't meet the students physically, but we're using, this new type of creativity, these new tools. And it's just, in fact, I feel like education has become so much better than before. I enjoy teaching online so much more. I mean, there's parts of the physical teaching that I also miss, but at the same time, it's just brought this new level of innovation, creativity as well. We're using way less paper, if any paper. Everything is online. And there are disadvantages to it as well. For example, children have to sit and in front of the screen, but even with that, we've used some ways to give them a more balanced time. For example, they're reading books or they're creating projects physically, and they're not always on the screen. So there's lessons that are synchronous, where they're meeting us online, and lessons that are asynchronous, where they're completing things on their own. So it just required us to go into these things that we haven't done before. And why didn't we do them? Why did we need a whole pandemic and something bad to happen in order for us to bring in these qualities, these innovative techniques that are available to us now with technology and everything that we have access to? So all of that, and I only gave you one example of being a teacher, but this has happened all over the world, in business, in our relationships, even just all facets of life. And so what this has done is it has allowed for us to not be in that stuck energy anymore, where just because we have structures that have worked over time, we think that we have to drag them out for the rest of our lives. We have allowed more flow. What works now? How can we change something in this now? Even as things have worked, what can we bring in that allows a sense of aliveness, this new energy, this novelty that everybody enjoys, and gets into this space of doing something new? It keeps a person's interest there longer. It's a sense of working with life force energy, with aliveness. The third thing, spiritual superpower, that this time has brought you is that your inner truth detector has become much stronger than you allowed it to before. So what do I mean by this? So an example is, you can't trust governments anymore. So perhaps before this time, people were blindly trusting certain institutions, certain governments, whatever it might be. And now it's like, whether you believe that the government is in the right or wrong is kind of irrelevant, because even governments claim that we don't know what's going to work. Let's see if this method works to heal, let's see if this one works. It's almost like nobody had the answers. So where do you get the answers then? What do you fall back on? You had to fall back on yourself. You had to go within yourself and see, this news that is coming at me, is it right? Does it feel good in my body? Does it feel like truth or not? So many people didn't do this before. They were just used to consuming news, whatever's coming. It's just like a routine. The things that the government has told me all my life, is that true or not? Because I'm seeing it become heightened within this reality. So is the government working for me or not? Are the very choices that I am making myself in my life, are they working for me or not? What is the truth of that? So your inner truth detector got so much more strengthened. And that is a superpower when it comes to your spiritual qualities. It's something that will really serve you at a deep level. So there's more of an access now that people have to the natural order of life. They're considering eating differently, eating lighter foods perhaps. They're considering how we have done things, because like they got a break from work and they were perhaps exhausted before, they weren't getting enough time for their families, and now they've seen life has forced them to see a different side of life, and some of them don't really want to go back to the old method. And I don't believe that the world will ever go back completely to what it was. It's going to be like we're going to bring in these new things that we are seeing, that we find are working for us, and perhaps integrate them somehow with some of the things that worked before. The fourth point is that people are realizing the importance of community values, of serving all, of doing things and making choices that are for the highest good of all and not just for the highest good of me. And realizing that anyway, my own highest good can only be that which is for the highest good of all. So, we've seen how people have come through. Like in India, for example, we had the pandemic recently, the second wave, and just the way that hospitals and the government and everything weren't able to provide for us. There was no oxygen, there was no preparedness, even though the pandemic has been around. And the people took to the streets, the people took charge. They started making oxygen available. These smaller companies that had to do with gases and stuff, they started providing oxygen for free. It was just, it was so lovely to see how people were acting, people who are even politically for the first time. For example, our chief minister here in Delhi, he had to beg this time for the migrant workers who do all the construction work and make everything that we stand upon in society. He had to beg them to stay, don't run away this time. The first wave saw them because there were no preparations for them, and they just walked their way across the country because they're that poor. They only earn daily wages, it depends on whatever they earn per day. And the government had to beg them, please stay, we will make sure that you have what you need. So it's like different people are being recognized, underdogs are being recognized, and in a way that they weren't recognized before. And another example in India is that often people think about how they can save money and how they can give as little as possible to their house help. So whether you agree with the concept of house help or not, many people have it here. And so it's like if they are not working, they don't get paid. But during this time, people found the compassion within themselves that even if they can't call people to work in their homes for many months altogether, that they should be contributing to their families, that this is their only source of income. So they their salaries weren't cut, for example. I saw many people doing this. Then another thing that is also happening is that we are becoming more aware of what is there available to us locally, because internationally this trade and everything had stopped, and honoring smaller companies, honoring those local providers as well. And for example, there were lots of people in India where celebrities were trying to raise money, and it was all a farce. Like, they raise money, it doesn't actually go to who it's needed to, for the victims and patients, or the laborers and this and that. Many times it's just a farce. And for the first time, because in India it's like viewed as a religion almost, two things, cricket and Bollywood. But for the first time almost, although this has been happening over the years, but it becomes more heightened, and there's more people that take part. And there was lots of criticism for such people, that we are with the masses, we are with the real people, and we are not for these agendas anymore. We are not for the politicians that try to dupe us, and the celebrities that are associated with them with a certain agenda in mind. It is agenda-less. It is community values that is just about love and support, knowing that I am supported as well only when I honor that which is around me. That all aspects of community need to be healthy, need to be provided for me also in the longer term to be supported. So this type of a feeling is coming back again. So the final point is that of course we were forced to slow down, literally, where the world came to a standstill many times. And this again is in spirituality, when people start becoming spiritual, they have to do this. They organically find themselves doing this, where they will slow down, they will get in touch with their body, what is happening in my body. They start to take a step back and look at life, what is playing out externally in their lives, and what is playing out internally in their lives, and does that match in the sense of if I'm feeling negative all the time, I'm feeling low self-confidence, perhaps the choices I'm making in my life, with my relationships, with my job and everything, are of a lower value, are something less than I actually deserve. So when you slow down, and it's not just about producing, growing, becoming more and more successful with money, but at the same time feeling depleted from within. So when you slow down, you will get to progress, but it happens in a sustainable way, in a balanced way, in a way that fulfills you on all levels, which is not just material, but it's also with regards to your health, physically, mentally, spiritually. So people are sort of forced to do that. And you may think that it takes longer if I slow down, for me to progress, but that's not actually the case. Often when you slow down, you will suddenly get one idea in those moments when you are, relaxed. And that one idea will be the exact idea that sort of plummets you into the next stage. So it's actually more efficient, it's actually a faster way of progress. And people are seeing more of this because they are working from home, they have more time for their families. They want a more balanced and holistic life. For example, I know people who were so busy and so successful in their careers, but they did not have time for their newborn children or their toddlers. And now they're getting to do that. They're at home. They're these dads working from home, many of them, and they're getting to spend time with their children and seeing just the value of that. And then from there, they can make a different choice in life as well, one that is more balanced for themselves and their family. And also, workplaces for the first time allowed more remote working options for the first time. So many people went on a vacation and they were working from some place that they wanted to be at. So they felt more of this balance of work, the work that they're doing, and the life that they want, the being closer to nature, let's say, or living in a place where they actually want to live, and being able to enjoy just more than one aspect of life. Because we've often been told, consciously and subconsciously, that if you want to be productive, you have to come into work, you have to do a 9-to-5 job. If we can't see you working in front of our eyes, as a supervisor, if I can't see you working in front of my eyes, I don't know if you're working. So all of those old control mechanisms that are actually not even true, they sort of dissolved much more. And it's like old organizations can't use that excuse anymore, you see, because people have actually been more productive in many ways. They have been more innovative, and it's really about bringing the quality and the product and whatever work that the person has to do, rather than being there and being away from the sun for so many hours, coming back home and the sun is gone, and these more unbalanced ways of living. So the last spiritual superpower that you have is you have learned how to slow down, how to get in touch with your body, how to get in touch with life itself, to evaluate and choose more balanced choices, to make more balanced choices in your life. So I'm going to quickly, before just finishing this video, give you the 5 points only. Number 1, the pandemic has changed you spiritually by allowing you to become more comfortable with the unknown, by bringing out your ingenuity and creative ideas, by attuning you to the natural order and attuning you to your inner truth detector, where you know that is the final say rather than anything else that you're seeing around you which might have an agenda. Amongst all the agenda now, you know where truth lies and how to discern it. Then the 4th spiritual superpower that has been brought out in you is the power of community values. You have recognized the power of community and the fact that you progress a lot more when there is progress for all, there is equality and progress for all. Then the 5th spiritual superpower that all of us have inculcated at this time is the ability to slow down and make balanced choices, the ability to slow down and just observe things for a while and then make balanced choices. So I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that it made you feel good about yourself despite everything that you may have been through and seen around you. Actually, this is what's happening at a deeper level. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.